Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Jeremy Hone and I'd like to let you know. Hey Ryan.
Hey.
I'm streaming live everywhere for this because we have a massive VeeFriends update. I was actually going to try to be on Clubhouse and Instagram live at the same time, but maybe that's disrespectful to Clubhouse. I'm not sure.
No, people do that all the time. So Clubhouse doesn't really mind if you use it for other features and stuff. Clubhouse's mission, as long as you're educating the public and helping people, that they're good.
Right on. Well, you're welcome to hang around. I'm about to go live on Instagram. I'm just welcoming in Twitch and YouTube. And I think I'm also going to go live on Discord. How you been?
Very, very busy. I was down in Art Basel, and then I'm going another trip tomorrow.
Yeah, it's that end of the year fever. Everybody's wrapping up. All right, VeeFriends update, 12:10 to 12:17. Let's go. Wowee. Nice to see some folks jumping in on the stage. Hello, everyone. I'm going to get set here for posterity. This is going to be a VeeFriends update. I'm going to be recording the podcast, and there is a lot to get through. So I'll give you a preview in case you want to decide to stick around or not. We're going to be talking about book games. We've got like 4 or 5 new clues to look at. We're going to talk about the new VCR group NFT project, the Fly Fish Club. A little bit on the Gift Goat Q&A that happened today. That happened this week. Sort of Gary's view of goats, some things he shared with them. There was also a Hangout hot call today, but I'm just going to mention it as I haven't had time to review it myself. I'm going to kick off the podcast with the brand collaboration happening for Mattel Creations, which I imagine most people are going to be listening to the podcast for. We're going to talk briefly about Third Web, which is a new NFT platform from Gary Vee and Mark Cuban, a Sorcerer Scholarship announcement, a breakdown of version 2, some VCon updates, and extras. So it's a massive episode. Stick around if you so choose. Happy to have you here. I'm just jumping over to my StreamYard. Let me get my share screen, record the podcast, and afterwards we can do a little bit of Q&A in the Discord if you guys want. So let's jump into it. Wow. Anchor supports video now? Oh no, just okay. Got it. All right. Welcome back to the show, my friends. Thank you for joining me. This is a little sing-song intro for you to hear and see. Well, what a day. It's late at night. I feel quite sleepy, but there's things to know. And I want you to be ready because tomorrow is going to be full of lots of silly things and who knows what surprises may come. And I will not be so mono-pitched and maybe find a rhyme that makes the song sound like music. Okay, we're done with that. Hi, my name is Jeremy Hone. Welcome back to Jeremy Knows. This is a VeeFriends update of all of the minutia, the breadcrumbs, the hints, the tips and tricks, and all the bits and bobs of the VeeFriends space that have happened in the last week. We're going to dive right into it. I'm going to give you a preview so you can decide if you want to stick around for the next probably 20 minutes. It's going to take me to break this down. I'm going to start off talking about the Mattel Creations collaboration that is happening tomorrow at 12 p.m. That's the most urgent thing. It's a $25 purchase opportunity of something very, very special from VeeFriends. Some may even say very, very spectacular. So we'll start with that. I also have some new clues and speculations about book games. Gary's done a couple Q&As this week. His restaurant group, VCR, released a pre-sale token for the Fly Fish Club, which is their first physical restaurant, the first to ever have NFT-only membership. I'm going to break down what that is and when the public sale is happening. I'm going to talk about a little bit about the Hangout Hawk session that happened today, but more so about the Gift Goat Q&A from earlier this week. Then we'll dive briefly into Third Web, which is a NFT platform release from Mark Cuban and Gary Vaynerchuk you may have seen, which is like extremely robust and very surprising in terms of its functionality. So I've got some updates for you there. A Sorcerer Scholarship update briefly. Then we're going to go deep into version 2 as we have a lot more information. VCon has a few updates, and then I have some extras throughout the week. So this is going to be a massive episode. I think I spent like it's 12:50 right now. I think I sat down to write the notes for this at like 10:30. So we're diving deep. Welcome back to the show. Thank you so much for listening. And without further ado, let's fucking go. All right. So today we got a teaser for this brand collaboration tomorrow that Gary has been sharing. We knew it was going to make his childhood self proud. And the announcement itself is very coy. It just shows Mattel Creations with VeeFriends. And you'll need to know this is at 12 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow, 9 a.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, 10:30 p.m. IST. And there's just a very brief blog post. It says, if you told 9-year-old Gary that he was doing this collaboration, he would jump into the swimming pool and swim laps for the rest of his life out of excitement. I don't know about you. I didn't know that Gary Vee loves swimming so much. It says, most of us have been speculating ever since Gary tweeted that an exciting collaboration was dropping tomorrow, 12/17. We can't share everything just yet, but here's some alpha you'll only find here. First, a few words from Gary. And Gary says, to my community and the VeeFriends community, I'm so incredibly honored to take my VeeFriends intellectual property and team up with one of the most iconic properties in the world. Not only am I honored, and little me is excited, I'm mostly looking forward to all the people that are going to be able to play with VeeFriends in this way, expand the VeeFriends universe, and enjoy some of the collectability that comes along with this collaboration. So that was all that was meant to be shared, plus the launch time and the price being $25 USD with the cost of shipping varying, but worldwide shipping this time. So for those international folks who missed out on Empathy Wine and other things, this is worldwide. It's going to be roughly $7 shipping to US and Canada. International shipping is TBA. But Gary jumped the gun a little bit and posted an announcement and said, VeeFriends Uno confirmed. He actually posted a video with this in which he said, all right, friends, VeeFriends Uno is confirmed. He was very hyped up about it. And he shared a couple of other things. In addition to a collaborative Uno deck, every single one of these decks will come with a limited edition spectacular VeeFriend card. So tomorrow we should get the information about how many characters are involved in this card release, how many spectacular variations. You know, are we going to get 5 characters with 5 spectaculars, or 12 or 20 or 100? All of that is TBA. But Gary says in the video that he thinks there's a real arbitrage here, that you can get your spectacular card and send it to PSA for grading, that it'll be a worthwhile collectible. The product will ship through Mattel Creations in Q2 of next year. And throughout the week, he shared that a couple characters will be very happy. And he shouted out the Genuine Giraffe, Enamored Emu, Turnt Tick, Charming Cheetah, Sweet Swan, Positive Porcupine, and the Conviction Cockroach. He also mentioned Hulk Hogan and hot dogs. So, you know, I'm going to just go ahead and put it out there that sometimes we get mixed signals from Gary, but unless he's just really throwing us off the scent with this and it's not actually a mistake. It does seem that tomorrow we're going to get a VeeFriends Uno deck with a spectacular card inside. And what I would recommend you do is go to creations.mattel.com and set up your account so that when the project drops tomorrow at noon, you're not hurrying to register and add your address and add your billing information. Have all of that set ahead of time. Be ready, especially with a $25 entry point. These things could go really fast. No clue what the supply is going to be, but they will be limited supply. So that's what's going on with Mattel Creations. If that's what you needed to know, go on about your merry day. Very excited about it. I believe that the limit per customer is 10. That's what Gary mentioned earlier in the week, but it hasn't been officially confirmed. And just for a bit of context for anybody thinking about what this may mean for the future of VeeFriends, like Mattel is a hugely iconic legacy brand. But he first took a meeting about this collaboration on January 7th of this year, before even the entire slate of VeeFriends characters was complete. He took a meeting that has led to this moment. And it's a good lesson in patience for all of us that even Gary Vee, who likes to work so fast and has so many connections, took a meeting on January 7th, and it took the entirety of a year to execute. We know that from a Q&A that he did with Gift Goats. And there was a lot of fun stuff in this Q&A. A lot of it was goat specific, sort of discussing what is the value after the gifts and how does he see the value? Is it just beyond the clout and the flex? To which, of course, Gary said yes. But a couple things I think people will be interested in. So if you hadn't caught up with the Gift Goat saga, in addition to the physical gifts, all Gift Goats also receive companion NFTs. So the first one was a Creature World collaboration. The first question in the Q&A was a direct question about Beeple. Will there be a Beeple NFT collaboration for Gift Goats? And Gary left a very thoughtful pause. And he said something to the effect that he wants to be careful with the questions he answers because he's not the only one who determines if that collaboration happens. But what I think everyone in this room knows, speaking to the goats, is that he has a tremendous relationship with Beeple, that it is at the top of his list, and he's confident he can get it to happen. So if you're holding a Gift Goat, there's a good chance a Beeple NFT is on its way to your wallet, although it's not confirmed yet. Another direct question that I absolutely loved was in reference to the G Money, Punks Comics, Bored Ape Yacht Club, Adidas collaboration that is actually dropping tomorrow morning. And somebody asked, will VeeFriends see any similar corporate collaboration such as this? And his face was kind of funny. And he said, of course, I have 4 already signed. So this is huge because, you know, back in, I want to say it was September and October, he was saying he had several announcements, like 4 or 5 to share with us. And I feel like one of those never actually hit the public. And I think it's safe to say that this Mattel Creations is one of those 4 collaborations, but there are at least 3 other deals that are already set, confirmed, and signed that just haven't been announced yet. Similarly to how there are 13 or more VCon speakers that we haven't heard about. So exciting news there. And it's not unusual, but it's a little uncommon that we get specific details about what's going on in VeeFriend land. It's a long game. We're all anticipating book games. We're sort of, I mean, at least for me, I know a lot of us, we're kind of hanging on every word. We want to know what's coming next, but Gary's keeping it pretty close to the chest. So it's fun to know that 3 of those deals are already signed. It's just a matter of time. Moving on, when asked about how some of the gifts will play out and the character tokens, everything is in play. There will be no quote unquote, that's it in 3 years. He was asked about royalties through music NFTs. He said yes. He said launching a goat specific business that gives revenue back to holders. He said given legality measures are in place, that he would be open to that and whatever else he can come up with. Last thing in Gift Goat world, Gary teased that there may be a future utility for the Gift Goat Enters the Creature World NFT that was given with the first gift. And I pulled this quote that I think is fantastic. He said, in my soul, and this was after he kind of went off on goats. He like really drilled into them, saying that he sees people who are full of entitlement or complaining or selling or fudding or whatever. And he ultimately said, you do you. You sell if you want to. Everyone in this room has already won if you mint it. But he followed up and said, in my soul, I believe that the people that sell their gift goat ever will regret it. That's not financial advice. That's I'm the fucking best advice. And he went on to share that he is taking active steps right now to really become the full-time CEO, the 16-hour-a-day CEO of VeeFriends. He shared with the goats that he sent a not so great email to Vayner speakers that he will be doing no more speaking next year to put that time into VeeFriends. That now his book contract with HarperCollins is done, and he expects not to write another book for a long, long, long time. And that even Wine Library received an email to expect less of him next year. So fun, exciting, interesting, notable to see him making those changes. Let me just label this. VeeFriends update intro. I forgot to go live on Instagram. Let me do that now. Hey, Instagram. Welcome to the show. Forgive me in being on Twitch and YouTube and Discord and Clubhouse. I forgot to go live with you here. Thanks for joining. Come on in. You can catch the first 10 minutes of the podcast in the podcast, but I'm gonna press onward. I'm gonna press on. We're gonna dive into. I guess we should go into book games. We just finished CEO. Yeah. All right, folks. Let's dive into the book games. So this is a highly anticipated collection. I'm excited to play. And I've thrown out a lot of random theories about what this could be and all the things we don't know. Are we going to get like an actual mobile game? Will there be a UI interface? I'm leaning toward that if that comes, it's not going to be in this first wave of games. This is going to be a token-based game. Somebody said in the Discord, where's this comment? Oh, is it a collect them all deal with rankings? And Gary's answer was warmer. There's a little bit of like confusing stuff going on with Gary's language about it. He said that there are not many characters in the book games this week. And I've been anticipating that there'll be at least 13 that will come from the book. But now he said there aren't that many characters. So I don't know. Does he consider 13 plus not that many? Anyway, nonetheless, let's get to the facts. We know that book games will likely drop the first week of January. More and more, we're getting comments from Gary that the first week of January is better for people to be paying attention to what's going on and actually be actively playing. He did say that both speed will be a factor in terms of winning these games, but that there will be an opportunity to study ahead of time when asked. And this is really cool. Gary's been very coy about new characters in VeeFriends, saying that VeeFriends 1 is his play, and if there are ever any characters added, they will be very limited. Well, he finally caved this week, and he said there will be a few new characters in the book games, but there will be very, 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 very few. So I don't know. I take few to mean 3 or more. Who knows what they will be or how they will act. Keep an eye out for those, because if you get a character that you don't recognize, chances are it's in limited quantity, and it may be one of those very, very, very lucky tokens that we're talking about, because in the comments that Gary is answering questions in the Discord, it constantly comes back to these tokens. Like here's a quote: book games tokens cost about 300 a pop. I don't see them at 1,000 in Q1 2022. No chance given supply. That said, certain ones that people randomly get will be way more. So we don't know how this is going to function yet, but he said that with as little as 2 tokens, you could be eligible for VeeFriends 2. But then he's also said, when asked, how many tokens do I need to get a VeeFriends 2, that it doesn't exactly work like that. So it's a little bit of both. Like, it's not clear. Is there a certain token that you have to burn to acquire to get a mint pass for version 2? Or is it just like a collect them all thing? These are questions I have. I'm not sure. I want to add that Gary has been giving a lot of attention to Just Art recently. And he made multiple comments in the Discord. He said Just Art is about to have its day. Okay. But there was another comment that he actually deleted today out of the Discord. He said book games is based on Just Art. So that's very exciting. If you're not familiar with what Just Art is, it's a category of VeeFriend tokens that contains the most obscure and esoteric characters in VeeFriends. There are characters such as Be the Bigger Person. There's Plenty of Love in the World. Start listening to it. Macro Micro. It's Tough to Beat a Worm from the Dirt. Your poor relationship with time is your greatest vulnerability. You know, these like conceptual things. And he said months ago that Just Art was going to have a moment in December. So we talked about maybe that would be like an Art Basel thing, but it seems like it's tied into book games. Not sure what the relationship of Just Art is to book games, but Gary must have deleted that comment for a reason. And he's left comments that said Just Art is about to have its day. And also just randomly popping into Discord and saying book games are going to be good. So he's really excited. Randomly the other day, he popped in, he said he left a date, 4/17/2029. And when asked about what it meant, he said book games. I think that's what I have to tell you about book games. One more thing. A lot of people have been asking, how does the rarity in book games work? We don't know what the rarity scale will be. Maybe it'll match VeeFriends 1. Maybe it'll be something entirely new. Considering that he's going to put spectaculars into Uno, I could imagine that the core rare, very rare structure just copies into book games. But the number of tokens you have does not increase your chance of rarity. So it's going to be random is basically the answer. If you have 3 tokens, you have the same random chance per token as somebody who has 1 token or somebody who has 30 tokens. There's not some algorithm that gives your extra mints added rarity chance, which is great because it equalizes the playing field. And there is a chance that someone out there will mint just a single book games token and get very, 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 very lucky. Maybe mint these new characters, maybe mint, I don't know, things that have yet to be revealed. But it does seem, going back to that comment about speed and time to study, that there will be some roadmap shared before the airdrop. On a technical note, Gary said that soon people will be able to verify what wallet they're going to be claiming the airdrop through. If you're concerned about that, or if you just want to get ahead of the game, connect your wallet to VeeFriends.com, and that will simplify the process. That will be the first step in the process of claiming your tokens. I'll leave you with this from Gary, where he said, the number one rule of book games is book games are played forever. My number one favorite trait in a person is patience. And actually, in another moment, he said, my number one goal with VeeFriends overall is to teach the world patience. So for me, patience, gratitude, and empathy are emerging, at least in this contemporary moment, as like the most important attributes in Gary's view of VeeFriends. I'm going to jump into version 2 from here because there's a lot of chatter about, will book games be needed for version 2? And this is part of where I'm saying I'm getting mixed signals from Gary. I could see it all making sense, but some of these comments are contradictory. So, do you need a book games token to get version 2? No. Does it give you a slight advantage if you have book games tokens? Yes. How does that work? We don't know yet. It's not going to be necessarily you need a certain number and then you automatically get a version 2. So that must mean that there are specific tokens that give you either a free mint or a guaranteed mint of version 2. In the version 2 world, we also know that version 1 will have a massive advantage. He confirmed this week that the only way to guarantee that you can get a version 2 is by holding a version 1. He said, I cannot confirm if it'll be an airdrop, but whatever the case may be, it seems like version 1 have at least one reserved mint for version 2, which is like breaking news. Like that's the first time that we've heard that. And I actually missed it in the comment stream. I saw it tonight and I was like, oh, this is a big deal. Someone asked, what's the way to guarantee version 2? And he said, by owning a version 1. So if you're holding a VeeFriends 1, congratulations. The price of version 2 has been talked about as less than $1,000 in ETH. And Gary actually dropped it to $950 this week. So there's a little gimme. He was asked about Rarity. Will they be rares and diamonds? He said yes. Still, version 2 is unlikely to have utility. It's certainly not going to get you into VCon, but remember that can change over the years. He can add utility as he pleases in due time, should he want to affect the market in that way or provide extra value to holders. VeeFriends 2 is designed to be a massive step, quote unquote. It's going to be an expansion of VeeFriends 1. And I thought this was really interesting. Gary Vee is doing the artwork for book games, we know, and he's also doing the artwork for version 2, but he said this week that he hasn't started the artwork for version 2. Sort of notable. He also mentioned Candy again. This is where I feel a little mixed signal because he previously said that the Candy collaboration with VeeFriends is years away. Then he mentioned Candy and said there will be some surprises for version 2. And then when asked again if people should buy it so that they could get access to version 2, he said it's very far off and you should buy it as a standalone regarding the Sweet Futures and all the other Candy NFTs. So it does seem like Gary has a long-term play in mind for the Candy digital NFTs in companion with VeeFriends, but I don't think it's going to provide an advantage for minting like book games or version 1 will. Version 1 rarity may matter in your VeeFriend 2 accessibility. This is a passing comment. Gary just said maybe when asked, will version 1 rarity matter in minting version 2, which would honestly be a really great give to so many holders who are feeling that they paid extra for a long-term utility and are not seeing any added value, not really reflected in the market for buying those higher rarity tokens. Not confirmed, of course. He just said maybe. I already talked about the fact that we couldn't confirm an airdrop, but version 1 will definitely have advantages and seems to guarantee at least a single version 2 mint. And another thing, if you're listening to this, you don't have version 1, you missed out on book games, you're coming to the VeeFriends space, I want you to know, first and foremost, you don't need to hold a token to be a part of this community. It's free to be here. There's free resources, knowledge, education. A lot of the the question and answer, direct access benefits to Gary. People are sharing publicly. You can come to the server and get a free book from 500 people in the server. That being said, being active in the Discord server is underrated, and those who are active will have a better chance at minting version 2 than those who are not. It will still cost you money, although there's a slim chance of giveaways. But even though Gary has previously said that the leveling system doesn't factor into the token projects, I think at a certain point that may change. Gary's going to want to reward people who are active in the community. And he said multiple times in the Discord server this week that if you missed out on version 1 and book games, to be active in the Discord server and you can mint a VeeFriend too. So just keep that in mind. Wow, I need a breather. It was a 13-minute segment on who knows what. Dun, 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 dun. What was this first segment? We talked about goats and and the Mattel creations and goats. Okay. Holy mackerel, this is a big podcast. Okay, let's talk briefly about VCon. Again, version 2 does not give you access. The only way to get to VCon is with version 1. And we got great news this week when it was confirmed that you would be able to sell your VCon access. This is something the community has wanted for months, and Gary confirmed it's happening and it should be done soon. He said in the Discord, the utility will be available in Q1 of next year. I'll explain more about this when I get to the Flyfish NFT project, because I'm pretty sure they're going to be using the same smart contract for leasing ownership of the token. Regarding VCon, Sasha Vaynerchuk Bloody Marys are confirmed for VCon. I'm sure it was a playful answer, but he was asked, will Sasha Vaynerchuk be making Bloody Marys? He said yes, outright. So if it wasn't already in the works, it probably is now. 2 speakers were confirmed this week, although unofficially. Tom Bilyeu let it slip that he is actually speaking at VCon, which shouldn't really surprise anyone considering he's the first speaker brought on for Vayner speakers. Actually, I just remembered a third. The Queen of Clubhouse, Swan Sit, is going to be speaking at VCon. So says the grapevine. And I also overheard at NFT NYC that Beeple will be speaking at VCon. I don't think any of those should be surprising. I think a lot of the characters that we see in Gary's inner and middle circle of business will be there. It seems like Mark Cuban is a front runner. Kevin Rose, Jimmy.eth, I think we'll likely see characters like Russ and Gunna, and I imagine Danny Cole is going to be there. So we kind of have a sense of who Gary's friends and collaborations are, but he's also made it sound like there are some heavy hitters that have yet to be announced. So that's exciting. He also talked about the fact that there's a lot of space at the stadium. So whether it's some kind of bring your own tchotchkes marketplace or pick up games with basketball, that's going to be a big feature. He confirmed there's also tons of female speakers. Remember, VCon is May 19th to the 22nd. The conference itself starts on the 20th. Arrive on the 19th so you can start bright and early on the 20th. Conference activities will end around 8 p.m. and there will be more unconference activities going on afterwards, after parties, dinners, events, etc. On the 22nd, the conference will end roughly 4 to 5 p.m. No word yet on if Gary is sticking around for Sunday night, but for sure the community is going to be out in droves. Stick around for the Sunday night parties. If you can manage it, book your flight on Monday, not Sunday. And last but not least, Gary did confirm as well that he would go outside of the stadium to say what's up to people who could not get in. Just like he did at the secret wine party, he will certainly say hello to the community outside the stadium. All right. I'm going to transition. Well, no, let's get one more VeeFriends update. One more VeeFriends update. Then we're going to get to peripheral stuff, and then we're going to wrap up with some little dessert extras that I've picked up here and there. So, last VeeFriends update is the Sorcerer scholarships have been selected for a couple of weeks now. Those who were chosen have been notified. I currently only know of 2. They'll be recognizable names for those who are deep in the community. There's El Pear and there's also Sakari Smithwick. So huge congratulations to the both of you. I'm so fucking proud. I can't wait to see your journey. Interestingly, though, the tokens are still sitting in Gary Vee's wallet. So it seems like the rollout of this process is going to be lengthy. Their internship, should they accept it, doesn't start until June or July of next year. So who knows? But the utility of that token is really only a 1-year process. So it'll be interesting to see that unfold. But just for anybody who was curious, the sorcerers have been selected, but they have yet to receive their tokens. So here's a couple things happening in the solar system around Gary Vaynerchuk. There's a new platform called Third Web from Mark Cuban and Gary Vee, which operates on the Ethereum blockchain and the Polygon blockchain and has a built-in interface to really do quite a lot. I haven't dived so deep, but they have the Ethereum network, Polygon, Avalanche, and Phantom network, all built in natively. And you can build a simple ERC 721 collection. You can build a lazy minting drop of NFTs, or you can build 1155 or lazy minting 1155, or you can build your own marketplace or a token or a loot box. So there are different modules that you can add to your projects, and I have a lot more to investigate to what this really is, but it is serious business that they have come out with this platform, and I would highly recommend checking it out. It's thirdweb.com. You can go there and mint a free NFT and get early access. Those passes are still available. I highly recommend it. In other news, VCR Group, which is a restaurant group by Gary Vaynerchuk, David Rodolitz, and Chef Capon, have released their first concept in the Fly Fish Club. So Fly Fish Club, or FFC, is the world's first members-only private dining club where membership is purchased on the blockchain as an NFT and owned by the token holder to gain access to the restaurant and various culinary, cultural, and social experiences. How's that for a sales pitch? FFC members will have unlimited access to a private dining room that will span across 10,000 or more square feet in an iconic New York City location. The space will consist of a bustling cocktail lounge, upscale restaurant, intimate omakase room, and an outdoor space. So they actually had their their pre-sale limited whitelist sale. I have to stop myself. I'm going to make my best effort to replace whitelist with allow list or wait list. I think there's no reason we need to, what's the word? Not just support, but, we can decouple, privilege permission with whiteness. So let's not bring that from the societal space into the Web3 space. If you wouldn't mind deconstructing that with me, I'll be very happy to link arms with you in that journey. It's just not necessary. So they had a process of a limited allow list for Gary Vee's close business partners, and they minted out something like 350 of these tokens. There's 2 kinds. There's the the standard membership for 2.25 ETH, and then there's the omakase membership for 4 ETH, which gives you the same things as the lower tier, but with private access to an omakase room, which is like a fine dining sushi experience. There's a few things that are exciting about this. Number one, it's the first of its kind. You know, Gary Vee's hyped on it. It's his first time in the restaurant space. He wants to disrupt it. He's working with a great chef and Chef Capon, and David Rodolitz is a very experienced promoter and familiar with the restaurant, food and beverage in New York City. But also, the only way to get into the restaurant is with the NFT, and the holder can bring guests with them. The foods and beverages are not included, but holding the NFT is a lifetime pass so long as you're the holder. Now, here's where it ties back into what we were saying with VeeCon access. They have shared that there's a function to be able to lease ownership of your Fly Fish Club membership token on a monthly basis. So the way this would work is you as the owner would create the lease agreement of your lease price, your rate, the duration of time, and the details of the person who is able to access that lease. You would put that into a smart contract that the smart contract would hold your token. And once that is established, you'll give an access code to the person that you're leasing it to so they can access the smart contract, probably through the front end on flyfish.com, or I think it's flyfishclub.com. Let me see. Flyfishclub.com. Then they will be able to access it, pay for the lease, and then the smart contract would give them temporary ownership, until which point the duration of the lease is closed and would automatically send the token back to your wallet. So I'm extrapolating here, but Fly Fish Club was built in-house by the VeeFriends team. They completely overlap. So it makes sense that instead of having a separate NFT or a QR code like we were hearing about with VeeCon, that you don't just sell the VeeCon access, you actually lease your token, send it to the smart contract, set the details for the market that you want to see, then the third party that you're working with, the alternate party, is able to interact with that smart contract, temporarily own it until VeeCon is over, and the smart contract sends it back to you. Amazing. So cool. Obviously, I'm extrapolating a bit, but it would make sense. And this is a new smart contract that they've developed in-house. So it'll be pretty interesting to see it roll out, and it seems like it will happen in Q1. So that's Fly Fish Club. We've talked about the GOAT Q&A. We've talked about Gary wanting to go even more full-time on VeeFriend. We talked about the Mattel collab. Don't forget, be ready tomorrow at 12 p.m. Third Web, Sorcerers, version 2, VeeCon. So let's get to just a few little tidbits that I enjoyed. Number one, for the honest honeybee, something is brewing. No clue what it is, but it's brewing. In the same realm, Perfect Persian Cat, months ago, Gary was like, here's a big hint. There's something big happening with this character. That is going to roll out and come to fruition in Q1. On another character note, Gary mentioned that the Befuddled Burglar has a special hidden utility that nobody knows about. I don't know if that's an actual utility or if it's more of a brand opportunity, but Befuddled Burglar has a secret. When asked about Solana NFTs and if he would put some there, he said he just might, which is exciting. Series 3 is a long way off and has not been started at all. You know, where the artwork for version 2 hasn't begun, it seems that the concept for version 2 is very established. But Series 3 as a collection, artwork, etc., has not begun at all. I wanted to come back to the 12.5 book and the Go giveaways. So number one, if you need a 12.5 book, please go to Twitter or into the Discord. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of books being given away absolutely for free almost anywhere in the world. So check that out if you need a book. Secondly, Gary teased or shared during the wine announcement that he would be doing an epic Go giveaway for those who did a creative and effective giveaway of their books through Twitter. And He mentioned that the posts on December 8th matter in that. When asked if we were going to get like a formal announcement about it, he said that time will show. So I haven't seen any follow-up on if that happened. It may have happened quietly. I haven't actually checked his wallet for that. But if you're trying to get in on that, I would just continue to push. Talk about your giveaway, talk about how many you have left, share what it is, tag Gary, tag VeeFriends. Don't spam, but share your creativity, because it does seem like Gary is actively looking for 2 winners for that. Another thing popped into my mind just now. There was a reel posted on VeeFriends Instagram, posted on Mattel's Instagram, hyping tomorrow, and it showed an image of the Resourceful Robin, the Gary B, and one other character. And it seems like those for sure, I wonder if I can find it really quick. It seems like those for sure are going to be in the collection tomorrow. Oh, it was is it the peacock or is it the pheasant? No, it's the Resourceful Robin, Gary B, and the peacock. What is the peacock? The productive peacock? You guys, it's 1:30 in the morning. I'm getting a little loopy, but I want you to have this information. The practical peacock. So it seems like for sure Gary B, Practical Peacock, Resourceful Robin are in those spectacular sets. Excited to see what that is tomorrow. That is all the tidbits I have for you. I'll leave you with this message from Gary about the Discord, and something that we should all keep in mind regardless of what Discord we're in. He said, let's spend more time here talking about innovation and how we can help each other learn, etc. It's a very special moment in the space. It's a very special moment to be here. If you're listening to this podcast in 2021, you're incredibly early. And I just want to encourage you, whether you need to take more balance in your life and blend more physical back into your reality, or you're excited for the future of NFTs and you have more to give, participate in what's going on, get educated, and take action. The world is full of stories of people of, oh, I was there and I didn't know, or I wish I could have, or I actually heard a rumor about this or that thing. You don't have to overextend yourself financially to make the most of this opportunity. There's so much happening within relationships, within communities, within people discovering their own love of artwork, new mediums. I always get a little bit like sentimental and inspirational late at night, but like for real, if you listen to the 45 or so minutes of this podcast, like I love that you're invested in VeeFriends, and I just wish for you the self-esteem and the courage to be equally, if not more so, invested in yourself, your own creativity, your own ambition, your own desire to improve your life and give back to those around you. I really am grateful for your time listening to this podcast. I want to just quickly thank our supporters: Eddie, Charlie, Curious Just, Moby.eth, Dushan V, Luna M, The Greek NYC, Droshik, and E. If you want to support the content I'm making here, you can find my tip jar in the bio link. So much more, on and on and on. DM me if you have questions. Hit me up on Twitter, Jeremy Knows VF. Without further ado, I'm about to go to bed. This has been a VeeFriends update from all of the shit going on December 10th to December 17th at the Jeremy Knows podcast. I'm Jeremy, the Heart Trooper number 7, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for listening. Oh, wow. That was a lot. That was a lot of speaking. 50 people in the house.
Tell the room.
What's up? What's up, y'all?
Good. I could actually tell the room in case anybody didn't go to fill out the form for book games.
I'm sorry, what?
Anybody who's in the room, we should tell them about the book games link. Fill out the Google Doc.
Oh, yeah. What channel is that in? Book Games Alpha?
12? Yeah.
So, hi everyone. It's so funny. I literally feel like I'm talking to a different crowd, even though I knew I was talking to you. I was like talking to my podcast. If you check the channel list on in the book game section, wow, we really have a lot of channels. In the book game section, Book Games Alpha, there is a Google form where we're polling people for their book game strategy, how many tokens they have. I think this is a very complex idea. I don't know if you've figured it out or made progress with the community on this, Cohen. Like it feels like a very difficult task to equitably collaborate in a book game that we don't yet understand, but nonetheless, information is power. However we want to coordinate this, even just by knowing what each other have, we can have an internal marketplace of trading or making deals. As soon as we get more clarity on it, it'll be easier to create a strategy. But please do go to that forum and share what tokens you have, what tokens you're expecting, and that will help us sort of move fast when the time comes, or so we hope. Lots of comments. Jay Mello, yes, it's all in a podcast. You're welcome, Truckee. Thanks for listening. Thank you, Jake. Thank you, Train. Thank you, Wade. Thank you, Curious.
By the way, in the main chat, Rips was shouting you out. He was he was listening. He's like, I'm in the lounge right now listening to Jeremy.
That's awesome. Nice. I love the chatter here. This is good. This is good. Good stuff. Where can we find the podcast? Yeah. So I'll link you the podcast, but this episode hasn't been posted yet. I still have to write a description, but this is the podcast. It's being posted in 3, 2, 1. Wait, I'd be happy to do POAPs for the podcast. We could do that.
Can we get POAPs for our first 2 purchases?
I would tell you, Wade, that the obstacle for me doing POAPs for my shows is not the delivery, it's the artwork. I just like I'm an okay artist. I can do a few things, but like if somebody wants to step up and be like a POAP master, and I can like send them a concept and they can make it, then I can handle the delivery side. And yeah, Cohen, we can get POAPs for our first 2 purchases.
Yeah, Sven's in the room.
Well, I know, but I think Sven kind of has enough on his plate.
All right, because he told me like an hour ago he's feeling so much better.
Good.
Sven, we need a POAP for purchase 1 and purchase 2.
I'm just answering some comments. If anybody has questions about anything I went over, happy to chat more about it. I'm just looking at. Yeah, I'm excited about Uno tomorrow.
I'm actually opening up multiple accounts.
Yeah, I figured you would. I probably should actually, but my credit card is like not happy right now.
I know some of you could go and consider them. All right, so Sven, we need 2 of them. Sven, we need 1 for the 5 creatures and the 5, and then we need 1 for the 2 fish. All right, Sven's gonna make our POAPs for us. Any art done Jeremy while we have him. Yeah, this is my crappy headset. If you guys want to, until I actually, unfortunately, I'm sitting here on all hours of the night, putting bids on things and making spreadsheets. So if you guys want to Amazon me a mic, I'll get you a better mic.
I'll Amazon you a mic. Just
send me the link. I asked you already a million times. Just send me the link so I can buy it.
Just text me your address. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I could get my own.
Kipper.
Did my wine come, by the way? My wine is supposed to arrive already.
Today, yeah, right? I got your wine. Kipper says, yes, J Mello POAPs will be guaranteed for holders. Kipper says, can you high level what POAPs are? Absolutely. Let me get a little, let me call up a little visual aid. Oh yeah, let me do it here. POAP, because I'm also streaming this on Twitch and YouTube. So POAP, POAP, is a specific smart contract that allows for free minting on the XDAI network. So XDAI is a separate blockchain than Ethereum, where the gas fees are a fraction of a cent, and therefore they're covered by the operator. Don't ask me technically how that works. I don't know. The bookmarks of your life is the slogan for this POAP company, because it stands for Proof of Attendance Protocol. So you can think of it like a ticket stub or like a pin for being at a certain place at a certain time. It can be gifted for listening to this podcast right now, for being part of a Twitter space, for going to an IRL event like NFT NYC, or for any number of things. Like, I made a POAP for my father's funeral. People have made POAPs for like finishing their finals. You can literally do this for anything because it's open source. You have a form through poap.xyz, and there's actually an Apple and an Android app. You can't create the POAP through the app. The app is just to collect the POAPs, and you can use the same address as your MetaMask wallet. But there's a relatively simple form. You need a name, a description, a number of how many POAPs you want, and your artwork, essentially. And then you send that off to POAP. You head into the Discord, get it approved, and they return it to you with a list of links or codes. So back to your question. The high level of POAP is Proof of Attendance Protocol. The easiest comp for me is like a ticket stub. It's the thing that you get that says you were there. But what is so powerful about this as a concept, the POAP, is you own the remembrance of your participation in the thing. So, like, I come from the world of theater. So I think about this in the way that while theater is ephemeral, this could make it more long lasting. And the collectability of these could really sort of go exponential if something unique happens at that event. For example, I don't know how much of a Gary Vee fan you are, but we hear a lot about moments in like early 2007, 8, 9, South by Southwest. And Gary Vee would have these like meetings in a hotel room where he first heard about Ethereum from like Kevin Rose and these other folks. And, the first time he met Vitalik Buterin, like, if, when that happened, the people in that room weren't the people that we know them to be now. They weren't their pop culture entities, right? They were just friends. But if you had like a soccer team that just so happened to have like Giannis and other like people that would become famous, and you had a remembrance of those people in their early careers, then that collectible could accrue value. In the theater sense, I think about if I saw a play and I had a POAP for it, And it turned out to be Hugh Jackman's Broadway debut. Well, Hugh Jackman is a big fucking deal now. So like if it's the next Hugh Jackman and you have a POAP of like the one night he, there are actually a lot of stories like this in theater where, the show is cast, but there's an understudy. The lead actress or actor can't perform. And so the understudy goes on and the right person is in the audience that says, hey, that person's really talented. And that understudy getting one performance that night launches their career. Well, if everybody in the audience has a POAP, that becomes a very unique version of that POAP from X show or collectible ticket from that show. And so there are limitless functions. They're working on integrations of like chat rooms to connect people that were at the same event. And they've mentioned in a Twitter space that 1:37 p.m. did with POAP recently. They talked about a lot of interesting utilities that they cannot really confirm or deny because some of them are not being built by POAP. But I hope that answers your question. The basics that POAP says on their website is it enables a new way of keeping long-lasting records of life experiences. A POAP is a digital collectible created as a non-fungible token powered by the blockchain. So I hope that was helpful. Wade, and your life is about to change. So the other thing is like people really love collecting these things because number one, they're fun and like often very cute. Number two, they're free. So in a world of very expensive things, especially in the NFT space, that's very appealing. And they tend to not have a ton of value or market volume, but some of them really do. Like the POAP that Adidas released has had sales like as much as like half an ETH or something. Right now, they're just fun. They're not really driven by money, but there's a lot of interest in that. A lot of us are of the Pokemon gotta catch 'em all generation. So like, or peripheral to it. So like, there's that energy big time. I'm glad that you have one. That's fun. Yeah, and you can add utility to any NFT. So like the Adidas POAP gives you actual access to their pre-sale, which is launching tomorrow. And if anybody knows details about that, I would love to know because I have 2 wallets that are whitelisted for that sale, and I don't have any ETH to buy them. And I'm thinking about doing something reckless to make it happen. I'm just sifting through the chats. Anything I might have missed. I should probably post this podcast.
Last thing you said a few seconds ago about the minting and what did you? Sorry.
Oh, I was saying that Adidas is launching their token tomorrow, and if you have a Pixel Vault NFT, then you're whitelisted for it. And I have a Pixel Vault NFT in 2 separate wallets. I have a Founders DAO token in my cold storage, and I have a Planetary DAO token in my hot wallet.
And the Mutant DAO, the Mutant Ape also counts, correct?
Oh, does it?
Yeah, I think the Bored Ape and the Mutant Ape count.
Oh yeah, well, my Mutant Ape is in the same wallet as my Planetary is in my DAO token, so it's still 2 wallets, unless maybe it allows me extra mints, but.
But 2 wallets is 2 separate mints.
Yes, but I don't have ETH. But if somebody wants it, then I can buy it. I just need the details. But I'm worried about gas. I'm worried about gas being just like stupid. Like I don't know. I could see it being worth a lot of value, but I wouldn't want to pay more than like point. I guess I would ultimately pay double in gas. I would pay like 0.2 gas to get it. Because the NFT costs 0.2. It's not that cheap.
That means you're saying you'd pay 0.4?
I think so. I think that would kind of be my max. I mean, it's an Adidas basey, like it's a Punks G Money NFT. Like I don't even I don't even really need
Isn't it
to
the
know.
right to purchasing? Isn't that the whole point of what it is?
Right, but I don't think it's reserved. Like, I think there's 30,000 of them. So, like, I don't know. I have to imagine.
It's over 4 different servers. So yeah, I mean, you have to deal with your apes, G Money, your stuff, and the art, the DAO art pieces you have.
Well,
and then the public.
And think about how many Punks Comics NFTs there are. There's so many. I mean, there's like whatever 10,000 meta heroes. I don't know how many are minted, but then you've got 10,000 Punks comics. Then you've got comics too. You know, there's a lot.
Yeah, I'm gonna be here. So original Adidas. So holders of original Adidas POAP, G Money POAPs, the DAYC MAYC NFTs, and all Pixel Vault NFTs. Wallet snapshots for early access were taken 14th of December. Okay, so that means I know exactly which wallet, and it's dropping on at 9 PST. Sorry, so 12 EST. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Uno cards and this drop at the same exact moment.
Oh, does it confirm at 12?
Yeah, it says it over there for pre-release is 12 EST.
Oh, shoot.
No. Sorry. They did the snapshot on December 14th at 12 EST.
I didn't
General
know.
Lease,
I didn't know about the G Money POAP. I have a G Money POAP as well, but it's all in the same wallet. This is why you should just have an egregious amount of wallets.
Very confused. It does not say when the minting starts.
No, they haven't released it yet. That's the whole thing.
But it's saying that general release is the same day.
Oh, what happened to my camera?
And they're setting aside a minimum of 9,620 for general release, which means I guess 20,000 is for early access.
Yeah, it's all happening tomorrow, I believe.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to post this podcast. Oh, I forgot what I talked about here.
Hey, Jeremy. Hey, CJ.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, Sven, what's up? How you feeling?
Feeling good. I'm driving to work now, but yeah, still feeling good.
Good.
Just needed sleep badly. So, yeah.
Samantha C, where's my art? Give me my art.
Yeah, I guess I can do the pull-ups during work now because I'm pretty much alone today. So I think in a few hours you have it.
We need 2 separate ones.
Yeah.
And then what we're getting to Jeremy, you're gonna take care of it?
Of the POAP?
Yeah, if Sven gives it to you?
Yeah, you can do it. I did say I was going to take the weekend off, but I'll still do it.
Do you want me to get it to Corso?
No, it won't take very long. I have to work tomorrow anyway because of the drop. So I'll probably just sign off. What is going on with my camera? I'll probably just sign off after the drop tomorrow and get it done before then. I just need to like do my taxes and clean the house. And why?
If you do your taxes, it's going to take you more than a few hours.
Well, I've already started. Why won't my camera connect? Oh, that's so annoying. Lame. My Twitch homies are here. I haven't been treating my Twitch homies right.
By the way, for the people in the room, do you want to recap what we did this week? Some people don't even know.
Yeah, I'd rather do it while my camera's working so I can post the video. but yes, I will give a brief. Give me just 1 second. Okay. We did a lot this week. I need to. Great, my camera works now. Sorry, I'm having PTSD from technical difficulties. It's not a big deal. I like it's super silly, but like I have so much digital clutter in my life, and it feels like every time I try to like actively change that, it ends up worse than it was before. It's not a big deal. It's first world problems. Oh, I'm glad you're listening to the podcast. That's very sweet. Pre-mint is only 2 hours before public. Oh gosh. If anybody wants to come up, by the way, you can just raise your hand. So, I mean, we did a lot this week. In the last week, we launched the project less than a week ago. Public mint, like we actually had pre-sale mint just over a week ago, a week and like 5 hours ago. So in the last week, we have minted some 1,800 tokens. I think we're pushing 1,900. We're almost 20% sold. We nominated our community representatives. They are Curious Just, VDizzle, Aiden Tag, and Monica. We then voted on our first purchase. We voted to buy a set of Gift Goat Enters the Creature World collab pieces that Gift Goats received, and one VeeFriend. And we did amazingly because instead of going buy it now, we threw out a bunch of WETH offers, did some backdoor deals. We were able to get what would have cost like 27 ETH. We got for like 23 ETH, essentially 24. I'd have to check the numbers, but like the floor on those creature pieces was like 2.7, and we got them for 2 and 2.5. I'm sorry, it was 2.7.
It was an average of 2.5 at the end.
Yeah, it was
2.54, I think.
Yeah, average of 2.54, which is amazing. It's nice when the token you buy is immediately the floor is above what you paid. I think the floor is like at 3, but it seems like that's like a 5-year play, because Gary did say in the Discord that that utility will play out over 5 years. And then with the VeeFriend, we got a FaceTime 5, which is exciting because access tokens are on a whole nother tier than other VeeFriends. They confer the 3 years of VCon access. I'm not sure how many FaceTime 5s there are. I want to say there's like 17 or something. So even like from a scarcity perspective, that's huge. But with a FaceTime, it also allows us 2 5-minute FaceTimes with Gary next year and the following year, next year after May and the following year. So it'll be interesting how we determine as a group to give that out. You know, do we like what comes to my mind? I know that randomization is like quote unquote fair, but I'd rather vote for meritocracy than randomization. Like, I'd be more interested in like people posing their 5-minute, what they would do with 5 minutes, and then like putting that up to the DAO to see who has the best story for 5 minutes or something. But all that's TBD. Very cool, very valuable VeeFriend. We got it for 11 ETH. I think it's probably today worth about the same as a spectacular, you know, maybe more to the right person. And then we had a very exciting, choosing my words carefully, depending on your perspective, we had a both reckless and opportunistic vote just yesterday, which really was not our intention. Like we, because of CJ and his connection to the VCR group, he, myself, and Eric were all on the allow list for minting the Fly Fish Club token, which I talked about in the podcast. And so that's the token that gets you into the restaurant. And so we posted in the alpha channel to let people know that that was going on. And it led to a lot of conversation, a lot of like, are we going to get in on this? And ultimately there was a lot of interest. We had a vote and we got 2 of them, like just moments before they sold out, for 4.5 ETH. So now those 8 tokens are already in the vault, not counting the one of ones that have been gifted to us from Vara and Dapper Dinos. And we also announced the Ethereum Towers collaboration, which I still don't know all the full details on. I know that we're getting half a floor, but you know, a lot of people have been asking, like, how are those apartments going to be distributed? What are they going to be used for? And I think the early discussion, and I'm open to hearing from people, is basically giving half of them to expand our reach and half of them back to the community. Like, we thought it would be cool to give one of the apartments to the VeeFriend moderator team, for example.
Well, both combined. I already decided that pre the DAO even launching, because we had the collaboration already in lines already pretty much before we minted.
Mm-hmm.
So unfortunately, I don't think that's up for vote, at least for like maybe 2 or 3 apartments. But I think we're open for everything else.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think people understand that, like, there are stipulations for the collaboration, right? Like, it's a good idea to give an apartment, you know, even just to keep an apartment like in our back pocket to sweeten a deal if it comes to it. But I also want to make sure that, like, there's a way for, if not the majority, at least a meaningful number of those apartments to be used by the owners, by the holders.
Yeah, I mean, the original intent is that there was going to be one apartment for the admins. There was going to be one apartment that we wanted to have for all the staff and moderators for VeeFriends and VDAO. And then I thought we were going to have one for the VDAO as a recording studio. Like in the meta, we create your podcast studio.
Sure. Yeah, man, I think you have such a great vision. I think that before we open it up, you should like sort of share your thing, and then we can allow that to be like the starting point for people to improve upon it. And you know, I think people will feel good about that. And if they don't feel good about that, then they can tell us and we can change it. But I think that sounds really great. I mean, I would love to have a meta creative space, not just because I'm a creator, but because, like, at the end of the day, content and creation is the way that this thing survives. Like, there will come a time when there aren't 43 people who are hyped on this project that want to spend an evening shooting the shit and talking about VeeFriends and whatever else. And the way that we make sure, like, 40 people right now in the audience is like really significant. That's almost 10% of holders. You know, I know maybe not everybody in the room is a holder, but most of them are. You know, like, that's really significant. And like driving, it's like the same. It's the same narrative over and over again. It's like giving people space to just do what they want to do and be creative and connect is like far and away the most valuable thing you can do. Like, and if we have a central place where we can tell our own stories and then by proxy tell the VDAO story, you know, it starts to become exponential what you're capable of.
And it's in a building with 100 other floors with, you know, hundreds of apartments. So you're able to literally, and Dapper Dinos has their floor, the Drops has their own floor, Women of Weapons has their own floor. Like, we're all in the same building.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
The collaborations is just...
That'll be really fun.
yeah, I'm excited to see what comes from all that.
I'm excited to fix my camera. I don't know why it keeps turning off. Okay. Sorry. It's irrelevant.
All right. I got to get some sleep. Tomorrow's a crazy day. I'm logging off. Thanks, Jeremy, for everything that you do. Good night, everyone. I love you all.
Absolutely. See you soon. I've got to post this podcast before I go to bed so people have the information in the morning. This is episode 116. Anybody wants to come up and chat, please do so. What else? You know what? I'm still waiting. While we're here, I will share that I'm still waiting on POAP for the claim link for the 555 POAP. Yes. Is it here? Wait. Wait, I think I have it. I can edit the delivery. It's all good. Wow. I think we did it. I just have to. So it's not a POAP for this. So, but how do I wait? If you stick around, you can actually get a POAP right now. I just have to figure out. Here. Let's try this. This is missing page. Why? Oh, I really thought that was going to work. But why? POAP. Let me try again. Missing page. I'm sorry. Got everybody's hopes up and I was wrong. But it says this has been a hassle, but it's okay. I just want to finish it. Nice. I also got a payout from Twitch for $100. Let's fucking go. Okay. Here's the POAP. I see somebody's got a hand up. Bringing you up, Samantha. POAP.
Hey, Jeremy.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, good. Thanks. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm feeling easily frustrated by technology tonight, but I am good.
What time is it there?
It's 2.
Oh, rough. Dedication.
Yeah, it could be worse.
I'm new to this group. Cohen was, as he did a little dig before, he was chasing after my Gift Goat Cross Creatures NFT. And nice. I didn't know about this DAO, but it's very cool, and your update was fantastic.
Thank you. I'm so glad you were here for it. Yeah.
Yeah. And so with this DAO, I was just reading. So 10,000 tokens looks great. And the what's your sort of, so with the decisions you've made so far, like how's your like decision making structure, or how are you guys going about that at the moment?
Absolutely. So there's some structuring that I'd like to refine around when a decision is made.
Yeah.
Right now, it's mostly on the good sense of the admin and the community leaders that we elected. So we voted on 4 community leaders, and the mechanism for that is a DAO tool called snapshot.org that allows you to verify tokens that you hold and sign with your wallet to vote. So that's the mechanism we use.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so it's not going on, the amount of, tokens that you hold. It's just more on the community leaders and the admins sort of taking a vote. Is that right?
No. Everyone who holds a token gets a vote. So every one token is a vote. But for matters of what goes to vote is currently within the trust of the community leaders and the admins.
Yeah.
But we're developing like a proposal process. I originally wanted to just give like open proposal powers to like anybody with a token, but that becomes very problematic because everything is on chain and like, there's no quality control if there's no there's no process.
Yeah, look, you need some. That's what I heard a chat Gary was doing about DAOs, and he said the biggest thing is everyone's trying to make them decentralized, but in the end, there needs to be some structure and some centralization to help it move forward. So I think that's a good idea that you guys are kind of filtering through.
Yeah,
Makes
absolutely.
sense.
It's a balance. I really do believe in the sort of like idealism of it. Like I'm an avid believer that more people make for better ideas, but the variable that's difficult is action. Ideas like whether you have 10 people in a room or 100 people in a room, like you have to be able to have the focus to be excuse me, to be working on the same problem, So
no, that's cool. I'll definitely mint a couple. That'll be great.
That'd be awesome. Welcome to the club.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah, happy to have you. It's fun. Like, I can't wait to see how many holders we have when we're fully minted. Because right now, and I haven't looked actually in a day or so, right now we have minted 1878. So we're getting closer to 20% sold, and we have 536 owners, which is actually awesome because earlier today, I remember we had 530 owners. So that means 6 new people picked up tokens today. And the more spread out, the better for scarcity and for secondary market. Not to mention, more people like we were just discussing. And actually the first 555 holders. So, everybody who's listening to this and the next 19 people to mint are all going to get an added art drop NFT.
Yeah, nice.
Did you mint your cockatoo?
Yeah, I minted that one. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I minted a heart trooper, core heart trooper.
Nice. I love the heart trooper.
Me too. It's my claim to fame now. I'm really hoping, or like more so than hoping, I'm just building up to the fact that when there is a heart trooper live action character, I am getting called in for that audition. It just has to happen. Like there's no world in which I'm not invited to that.
There hasn't been too many sales of heart troopers. really?
No, only a handful.
Yeah.
Only a handful. Yeah, I know there was recently, well, one sold yesterday because there's that wallet that's been unloading a bunch of VeeFriends.
Nuts.
Sold one today for 9 something, and then I think the previous sale was 15. When the floor was low.
Yeah, and he's holograms for like 14 ETH. I was like, wow.
Oh man, somebody, I don't know what they have it listed for now. For like ages, somebody had the gold heart trooper listed for 64 ETH.
Yeah.
And I was like, if only. It was just it's like I'm not in that league by any means, but like there is the possibility that you just make the right, 0.5 buy and then it becomes 50 and then somehow, I was just like dreaming.
Yeah.
They currently have it listed for 75 ETH. But
crazy.
I have to imagine if they got an offer for like they're loaded. They've got a spec Phoenix, they've got a spec Dragon, Burglar, Harpic. They have an Empathy Elephant.
I can't believe that trooper went for 9 ETH today. That's just insane.
I know, yes. It was a good deal. It was a very good deal. Yeah, this person has like over a dozen VeeFriends. So I'm inclined to think that I could give them an offer for less and they would accept it, but probably not much less than like 40 or 50 ETH or something. They seem pretty convicted that it's worth a lot, and they're right.
Yeah.
Did they mint it for 3? If they minted it for 3, I'm gonna be so sad. Oh no, they minted it early for 6.7. Good for them. I think that's it. Right? Yeah. Twitter.
Mint the V down. I just realized I'm on my Polygon account now because I was looking at what you were talking about before with
Third Web.
Third Web, yes. Now I'm in Polygon. I got to swap back over.
That's awesome. All right. I really love everybody hanging out on Twitch as well. Much love to you. Jen, it's good to see you. K-Joe. Yeah, we're up late. I'm going to sign off from Twitch, but I will be doing more. I feel like I haven't been streaming as much. I need a schedule. I'm gonna work on my streaming schedule. My mouth to God's ears. All right. Good night, Twitch.